Okay. Resolutions? So how we do the resolutions is we read the resolution, you say so moved, someone seconds it, we'll vote on it, so records it. Okay?
You go round robin.
Yeah. So resolution 07-2017-1, resolution adopting July 20th, 2017 agenda as printed, so moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Bill number 2.
Resolution adopting the minutes from June 29th, 2017, work session meeting of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
Second? Have a second? All in favor? Motion carries. John, you'll do number 3.
Resolution adopting the lead agency status for purpose of SQ
Secret?
okay, with regard to awarding for a contract for curb work on Sharon Avenue, determining that the awarding of a contract for curb work on Sharon Avenue is an unlisted action for purposes of SECRA, that the awarding of a contract for curb work on Sharon Avenue will not have a negative impact on the environment, and adopting a negative declaration.
So moved.
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor? Motion carries.
Resolution 07-217-4, resolution awarding a contract for curb work on Sharon Avenue to Contract 2,
Well, the curb work is gonna be Fesco.
Fasco, in the amount of
The amount of $29,000.
$29,000, based on the public bid opening on June 29th, and authorizing the mayor to execute the contract to
That should be good.
Execute.
once.
Yeah.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Motion carries. Oh, you know what? It wasn't 29,000, Joe. Sharon area was only 17,000. You know, for both.
No, it's 29 total.
Yeah, 29 total, but we broke them up.
Sharon, 17.
Yeah,
Resolution 07-2017-5, resolution adopting lead agency status for purposes of SECRA with regard to the awarding of a contract for curb work on Highview Avenue, determining that the awarding of a contract for curb work on Highview Avenue is an unlisted action for purposes of SECRA, that the awarding of a contract for curb work on Highview Avenue will not have a negative impact on the environment, and adopting a negative declaration. So moved.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution awarding the contract for curbing work to Highview Avenue to Fasco in the amount of $12,000 based on public bids open on June 29, 2017, authorizing the mayor to execute the contract. So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution number 07-2017-7, resolution to set the date of the 2017 organizational meeting to be held on August 3rd. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution 07-2017-8, resolution determining and finding after consideration of the inspector's report that the condition and nuisance on 79 Chestnut Avenue is a hazardous or unsafe condition or nuisance in accordance with Poquott Village Code, section 50-4, and directing the building inspector or code enforcement to give notice to the owner and/or tenants at 79 Chestnut Avenue to correct nuisance under Poquott Village Code 50-8.
Anyone
So this was the lines that's crossing the beach?
These are the ropes, yeah. Would hate someone to fall and sue them.
So
This-
Is that going around?
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
there's
Okay.
one for each
Okay.
one.
So the issue is that there's a rope going across the beach for mooring?
No, the issue is that the rope is going at the high water tide, and if you walk down there, then you'll see that. You could-
Oh, so it's going past the high water line? Okay, so if they just move it over to whatever the high...
That's not our, we don't make that determination. I would say it's unsafe because I know people might trip on it and fall. And now, this right there, that's on village property. That shouldn't be on village property.
Frank,
Can I see it?
Yes.
can you tell me a little bit about this? What?
Complaint came in regarding this. There are, it's mooring tackle that goes from private property across the high tide mark and then into the water to a more, small vessel.
Mhm.
So in this case, that's the 79 Chestnut one? Okay, so I believe that they are going to respond with a notice that they have certain mooring rights, so we might want to hold off on this one. But yes, the rope is going into, on the other side of high tide, which I'm told is now village, which is village property. And it would not just be a hazard or a potential lawsuit for the village, but also for the property owner. So I would recommend that. And it's going into the water, so if somebody was, even though they're not supposed to swim, if somebody was swimming in the water, that could be extremely hazardous to them. So,
I don't understand, where is our property that it's crossing? I mean, I understand the hazardous part.
I'm told that we are from a high tide to the water, would be ours.
Okay.
High tide up would be private.
Right. So somebody traversing the beach would either be trespassing if they're above high tide, or having that barrier across where they're walking, the road.
Right, it goes across both private and village properties, so it's going down the beach towards the water.
Because we used to have a million of these things.
Somebody probably tripped and fell and something.
I'm just,
And so all the docks are on village property that we have in the village?
Down near the, past the bluff, right? I had to walk home the other day.
You'd have to ask the attorney, and that would also depend apparently on, I understand certain deeds.
Can we knock on the door and ask them to move the rope instead of like bring a violation against them? I mean, is that?
We've
We
already
did that.
We've already done that.
that's the process.
Gotcha. I understand.
I make personal contact with people, and then
I
we
got
also
you.
have to give by law an official notice.
I got you, that makes sense.
Right. I say we approve it, and then if they correct it, we just take it off, that's all.
What are we asking them to do? What would be correction?
Make it safe, so no one can trip on it and get hurt.
Now, there's a few others.
Yes.
So that means everyone's gotta get a notice then?
So we
Or is
just-
this person?
No, the other person had one too, but they said they corrected it. There's only two.
Alright.
Those are the two that we got, right? And you went down there, right? Okay, so moved. Do you have a second? Then I can't go forward. This is not covered.
It pains me to do it, I understand the logic behind it, it's just that we used to have, the whole beach was covered with that, that's how people, move it.
You can leave it and just hope that no one
It's a
trips.
clothesline to bring your dinghy into the shore, as opposed to picking it up and dragging it into the water.
Right.
But in this litigious age, I can see why, I mean, it makes sense, it's like.
So what happens if they trip on a rock? I'm just
Well,
saying,
it
there's a
depends.
stone there, it's like, I get it, it's just.
Yeah,
some-
I mean,
We're not gonna
that's,
move
that's
I
where
know, I get
the
it, but it's
ambivalence
just-
comes in,
it's a
because,
little-
yes,
We live in a nautical neighborhood, but
yes.
I understand the point, it's just. Okay, well, if that person's gonna get a notice, then we gotta walk it, and if everyone's got one, then everyone's gotta be, it's
Well,
gotta be the
that's what it
same.
Right,
Okay.
Frank, you
That's what
walked
I
it,
just
and we're
I
gonna.
did.
The whole entire
I
beach,
did
and
do
going
it.
down
I-
Loco, and.
Between those two areas, between California and Walnut, we walked it, there were 2 violations, 2 safety issues, one has already been corrected.
Alright.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Oh, yeah, I'll second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, so I don't have to do 63, so that's been corrected?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll table this one. Okay,
We're up to 9?
now we're up to 10.
10.
10.
9's been corrected.
Okay. Resolution 07-217-10. Resolution determining and finding, after consideration of the inspector's report, that the condition of garbage and debris on the property and insecure building existing on 1 Oak Street is a hazardous and unsafe condition and nuisance according to Poquott Village Code 50-4 and a violation of Poquott Village Code 120-2A, B, and E, property maintenance, and directing the building inspector or code enforcement to give notice to the owner and/or tenants of 1 Oak Street to correct nuisance and remedy the property maintenance violation under Poquott Village Code, sections 50-8 and 120-7.
Okay, so I sent down the college kids to go move the garbage down to the curb. They can't pick up the garbage. They can't move the cans. They're that heavy, they said. And there's bags of garbage stuff all over the driveway, so it's still there. So I think we're gonna have to do this step, and, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen with this house, so we may end up having to go in and just have someone have,
Yeah, well,
Go
let's
over
say
and
now,
clean it.
Regs, we've done it before.
yeah,
But so now has the owner been contacted?
yeah, well, we sent the letter, right?
Houses was foreclosure, I have the bank's name and the company that is supposed to be maintaining the building. So the letter will be going to the property maintenance company, and then eventually
Like that's
to,
what it's designed to do.
So say so moved. Oh, no,
So
we do-
moved.
Yeah, so move, second. All in favor? Okay. What's your next one, Jeff?
Okay, let's see, Oak Street, North 11. Resolution 07/2017-11. Resolution determining and finding after consideration of the inspector's report that a condition of overgrown lawn, weeds, and shrubbery, not maintained pool, and vacant home located at 14 Silver Beach is a hazardous and unsafe condition and nuisance in accordance with Poquott Village Code Section 50-4, in violation of Poquott Village Code Sections 122A, B, E, and 124, property maintenance. And directing the building inspector or code enforcement to give notice to the owner and/or tenants at 14 Silver Beach to correct nuisance and remedy the property maintenance violations under Poquott Village Code Sections 50-8 and 120-7. So moved.
Here are the pictures. Anyone wants to see that?
Okay.
That house is also empty.
Same thing, you've contacted owner and it's in.
we're attempting, the house is unoccupied.
Mhm,
We believe it's still owned by a resident, or,
mhm.
however, the mail,
pool
the
is
taxes go to that house.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll have to see if the mail is getting forwarded.
And
So
did you
we
check
do
to
know
see
that.
if there's a foreclosure proceeding? It's pending?
I don't believe there is, but I can't be definite.
Uh-huh. And there's water in the pool?
Yes,
Some mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Has the health department been there?
that I know.
They're supposed to notify the health department, no? They'll take care of the mosquitoes?
I don't know if there's a requirement, but we certainly could reach out to them.
Yeah?
So, so moved.
Second?
Okay, wait, let's just take a
Oh,
look at
yeah.
this.
On Silver Beach.
So the post office says it gets mailed to Fort?
We're gonna see if it gets forwarded.
Okay, all right. So we'll do our due diligence on that.
Second was, you second? Oh, no, I'll second. Joe, I'll second. 2017-12, resolution determining and finding after consideration of the inspector's report that the condition of an illicit discharge exists at 7 Osprey in violation of the Village of Poquott stormwater law. Due to the illicit connection to the MS4 and multiple notices sent, directing the building inspector or code enforcement to give notice to the owner or tenant of 7 Osprey to correct the nuisance and remove the illicit discharge within 10 days of the notice. We did give them more time, though, right?
Yes, I spoke to them, I personally spoke to them, and they requested an additional 30 days.
What? No, we just gave them 30 days, but we still have to do it because we can go forward after that.
Okay, this was just stormwater.
Yeah.
Stormwater. The neighbors cleared their yard and all the stormwater goes in their yard. Whether the house through doors.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're in a bind.
Yeah, it's convenient, isn't it?
It is.
So much for a drywall, right?
And look at the road now.
Yeah.
And the road collapsed.
So you're responsible for repairing it?
Yeah. So moved. Okay, second, all in favor?
Resolution 07, 2017, 13, resolution determining and finding after consideration of the inspector's report that the condition of a second floor balcony and doorway at 14 Walnut Street are not in compliance and constitute a hazardous and unsafe condition and nuisance in accordance with Poquott Village Code Section 50-4 and a violation of Poquott Village Code Section 120-2E, property maintenance, and directing the building inspector or code enforcement to give notice to the owner and/or tenants at 14 Walnut Street to correct the nuisance and unsafe and hazardous condition and remedy the property maintenance violation of the Poquott Village Code Sections 50-8 and 120-7.
So you can't vote,
Can I-
because it's your house.
Can I just
Okay.
clear this up right now, since I'm right here on the convenient? I have all the material, I spoke to you about this, it'll be done within a week or so. I mean, I spoke to Mike Chiaffi when I was getting the work done, the coating I want it done, because I don't feel like going through it again, replacing the front door and everything else. It's vinyl coating, it could be done during the winter, I know it's the spring and summer now, but I got 2 people in there to do it, and the job's too small, so I don't wanna do it. I'll have it done probably by the end of next week.
Okay, so we'll table it for the August 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, I got a permit for it, but it's, Giappi said just put a barricade up, so no one could walk out there. I had to take it down and get there.
Yeah, we can't have it, so.
That's an old picture. I actually spoke to Cindy, she's John Giappi said just put a barricade up. That's not an accurate picture.
Okay.
There's a, you can't even walk out there. I had to take it down just to start working on it, the other day.
Okay, so we'll table it for August 3rd. 14?
14. Resolution 07-2017-14, resolution determining finding after consideration of the inspector's report that the condition of second floor deck at 10-seater is not in compliance and constitutes a hazardous, unsafe condition and nuisance in accordance with Poquott Village Code Section 50-4, and a violation of Poquott Village Code Section 120-2E, property maintenance, and directing the building inspector or code enforcement to give notice to the owner and/or the tenants at 10-seater to correct the nuisance and unsafe and hazardous condition and remedy the property maintenance violations under Poquott Village Code Sections 50-8 and 120-7.
Okay, so they applied for a building permit, but I think we should still vote on it because it has to be safe. Someone's gonna fall off of this. We don't need old field. There's no railing. So they have to put something up, just like he has to put something up, they have to put something up so that no one falls off.
So what, yeah, I'm sure they can't do that, so we're gonna look for sure. But what are they gonna do with it?
It's a door? Or
Yeah,
is it
it's a door.
Oh, okay.
So it's irrespective of whatever they're gonna be doing?
Yeah, they put in a building permit and,
Something,
Yeah.
something, okay.
well, to finish it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just say so moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries.
So they getting a permit now, or what is that?
They already have the permit.
They have the permit,
permit, but
so-
they have to make it safe. Like
Okay.
immediately, that has to be.
What's her name? I forgot her. What's her name?
Karen Lonsky.
Celestine? I mean, what's her situation? Could she need a hand, or
I
what's,
have no idea.
I know
She was
she's,
in here and pay her taxes,
it's
so
a-
last time I talked to her.
and that's been like that for a little bit, right? I mean, how was it?
You know, that's a good point.
I mean, I don't know if she's even capable of doing it.
Separation.
Yeah,
I
but
know she's in
we don't have it's a kind of a gap in our regulations. Is that if we have somebody who does not have the ability to do something temporary, which is what we're talking about, but to put a railing up is not nothing. You have to do something in its construction, and it's hard to get somebody to do a small
Well, just
job.
put up tape or so nobody walks out there. Close the door.
Well,
Put something on the door, you know, like.
yeah, but suppose somebody says, look, I'm all thumbs, I can't do that. What, do we have any, even informal system where we say, well, call up one of us and we'll help you do something so that you just keep it safe? I mean, I'm definitely gonna vote for this motion, but I'm just saying that it seems to be a gap.
I'm sure that Mike would get some.
She's gonna be able to take 2 minutes.
So he's approached her.
She came in and filled out the permit, she didn't say anything.
How long was
about
that?
any
Was
help.
that recently, or was that a while?
I suppose I
A
don't know.
couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay, so it's just recent. I remember I saw it was, I knew it was going down, and I haven't seen her in a while, and I was gonna ask her if she needed a hand, and I guess I should finish my own problems first, but I knew it was gonna be an issue, you know? But I-
You said it, I was gonna say
Yeah,
what
I was
you
like,
said.
why is it-
Somebody,
I know she's on her own, I mean, I could probably do it, but.
yeah, but that's, I mean, if the
Town
system
may have
is,
it, I don't know if the town would get involved in the village.
well, I mean, I think it's a good example, and I'm glad we at least have one good example that we can talk about. If somebody blows us off and just says, I'm not doing it, goodbye, I have every right, or something like that, and we take it to this next level where we're starting to do it, then they, you know, they deserve to have us kind of squeeze them a little bit.
Is it possible, like what
But
Chiappi
somebody
said to me?
can't. That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
Chiappi said, listen, just block your door so no one can walk out there. Is that possible? We can just
She
contact
may have
the
done it
citizens?
already. You
Oh, she
guys
has?
are, I don't know.
Oh,
You,
okay.
like, you're all saying you don't know if she can do it or not, but we don't know that's not the case. We just know she applied for a building
Right,
permit.
okay.
And we wanna make sure that it's made safe.
I got you.
I think the way this law was designed, it's this presumption that we go and we talk to the people first, as you say, and it's, you know, you point it out to them, there's no legal anything. If it gets to the point that there's a resolution in these meetings, somebody didn't do something when they were talked to nicely and asked, you know, if there's a problem, can you just take care of it? So, I think people should know that if they have some issue, they should not just ignore it or say to us, drop dead. They have to bring it up and we'll, you know, we'll just.
I think that happens. I mean, we're here every single Wednesday and
Yeah, I
people
would have
come
to
and
think so.
go.
I would
People
have to
come
think
and
so. That's
go.
why there's no question in my mind that I'm gonna vote for this thing, but I just think that, people should know that. I think there's a tendency for people to say, I'm just not gonna vote, so I think that's what it is.
Gotta go next. Okay, so Mike, you wanna say so moved?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Motion carries. Jeff, 15?
Okay, resolution 07/2017-50. Resolution determining and finding, after consideration of the inspector's report, that a condition of the multiple apartments and fire code violations at 2 Singingwood Road constitute a hazardous and unsafe condition and a nuisance in accordance with Poquott Village Code Sections 50-4 and a violation of Poquott Village Code Section 120-1, property maintenance. And directing the building inspector or code enforcement to give notice to the owner and/or tenants at 2 Singingwood Road to correct the nuisance and unsafe and hazardous condition, and remedy the property maintenance violations under Poquott Village Code Sections 50-8 and 120-7.
So she won't let us back in because there's obviously multiple people living there to inspect to make sure that it is, the violations have been corrected. So, we have no choice. We've been in and out of court, we're in and out of court every single month, so. So we have to go back in there, so move.
Did she say that she has corrected it, or
We would know, but she
comment?
won't let us back in.
she hasn't made any statements one way or the other?
She hasn't said whether she corrected it or not?
No?
Where's the fire violation on it?
The smoke detectors, CO2 detectors, windows, the egress windows are not a proper size.
Multiple people, kitchen, stove,
So,
dead body, let's
multiple-
keep going.
GFI breakers.
Right.
so multiple kitchens is, okay.
It would be
If we're gonna go through multiple kitchens in this village, we're gonna be here all night long. We all
No,
know
this
that.
is what we're doing.
No, I realize it, but I'm
This
just
is a
saying
case
this-
that's in and out of court every month.
I got it, I understand that, but if we're gonna start going for multiple kitchens in this village,
You know,
I get it, I mean.
This is a perfect point, because we've talked about this, and I think it's one of the reasons we've had such resistance in things like property law, rental law, is that it's not big government looking to see where they can nail somebody. We don't care, frankly.
You and I had this discussion yesterday.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, we
just-
don't care, there's so many apartments, you know, there's like a single tenant and they're quiet and they.
Jeff, I understand, but I don't want you to go on a tangent. What I'm saying is you're going after the fact there's a second kitchen here, and so.
No,
It's not a
it's
second
not
kitchen,
special.
no, it's
It's
multiple,
multiple,
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
somebody who
Okay.
This
says,
is not
well,
a
I'm gonna do it, I have a right to do it,
arrangement.
and say, well, you can't, and then we get into a thing. So, the average person is not gonna be drawn into this. There's a few cases where
They're
they just
extreme.
say,
This is
give me,
extreme
you know,
case.
take your best shot. That's basically what we're dealing with, and then it winds up in courts and things like that. So we have to go step by
By
step.
step, I understand it's a procedure, but it just, when I start seeing like multiple kitchens, it's kind of like, well, you know, where do you start and end with this, with everybody in the village?
You put everything in.
But I'm just saying, well, where do we start and end if that's the case? When we start, I mean, then it goes back to what we talked about 2 years ago with going around inspecting everybody's home.
But that's not what we're
So
dealing
if
with.
this person takes all these kitchens out, then it won't be a situation.
No.
There's a
I don't know, I'm asking, I know I'm learning, I'm
There's
asking
zoning-
this.
There's zoning violations
Right.
as far as no CO in certain areas. There's partitions that shouldn't be in certain areas. This is a safety hazard to the people that are renting there, and it's a safety hazard to any firefighter that responds there in the event of a fire.
Okay, I see your point. Does that go for everyone else that has a second kitchen in this village? That we don't even know about?
Give me a specific residence,
This is,
and I'll go
and
into
that's the other thing, John, is that it's not, when we get a complaint, we have to investigate, have to move forward.
Right.
So it's not the village looking
No,
for
I'm just
a
asking, because
individual
this is good,
apartment.
because I mean, now, this is something that's big, this is huge. I mean, I know Debbie, I mean, I've been in the house, and I swear to God, I've never been down there. I've never been down there, never seen it.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm asking how you approach a situation where you have multiple kitchens on a property.
The court ordered us to go in and look at the house, we did, we had multiple violations,
Okay.
and now she won't let us back in,
Okay,
okay?
all right,
That's where we're at.
that's where it's at.
If I may, getting this, I understand, you know, the court says we're not taking this unless we vote on it. But now we're going to be doing it, so in the future, I would really like to be brought into the loop a lot sooner, where we can actually see what's going on and what the violations are, if we're going to vote on it. Because when we see it now, it's, you know, we're talking about it and it's kind of complicated. But if we sat down, you know,
Well,
and looked at it at one level, whatever level you guys think or deem is appropriate, but sometime before the meeting is all I'm asking for.
There's another side to it that I think we should also consider, and that is privacy. And I think that if there are issues that come up with a resident and a code violation or something, and it never gets to the level of something like this, I really don't think I should know about it. I don't even want to know
I
about it.
think that's what I tried to say. When it gets to a certain level.
Well,
Before it goes.
that's what we're doing. This is a working meeting. This is,
Unfortunately, your code says otherwise, and that's why I have to come to you. Personally, the village board should not be involved in minor stuff like this. That's my personal opinion.
Mhm,
And unsafe buildings
mhm, this is different.
should not be waiting a month or 2 months
right, which
for
means
the
we don't
village
need
board
more,
to
just
meet.
to,
Yeah,
just
we
to
had-
do
we
that.
Personally,
had talked
the
about
code
that.
should be changed so that the board does not need to be addressed until the occupant homeowner refuses to comply, and then additional action may be taken.
Frank, you and I had this discussion when we were talking about the changes to the property maintenance law. And we changed will to can, so that it was not necessary to wait for it to be brought to the board if it was an issue of immediate safety, public safety. So in an event where we're talking about things that are going to wend their way through court, I think it's appropriate to have it go to the board. But we do have now a safety valve where if you see something and you need to act on it, you don't have to wait. You know,
Unsafe, unfortunately, the village code under unsafe buildings still requires us to go to the village board first, which really should be changed. And I also don't think it's fair that a resident who has a problem, has an issue, that their address be brought up before a room full of other residents.
I agree.
But that's my personal opinion on that.
So that's something for us to
So
look
is
into.
that because it appears in two different sections of the code? Because I'm talking about property maintenance, that's what
We're using our property maintenance, but in most of these cases, we're using unsafe building as well. And when we do that, we have no choice but to go to the board.
Is that a gray area that they both fall in? Is that what you're?
Some of them do fall under unsafe as well as the property maintenance or the other violations.
I'm gonna look, that to me bubbles up to the top.
The village
I think
board
that's
really
on
should
your
only be
side.
involved at a point where
183
the
is
village
on
has to
your
take
list.
action beyond itself.
Yeah, well, that's at the top.
If the village needs to make a correction to someone.
Just to let you know,
or
you get that
lien or
tomorrow.
whatever, then the board should.
So while you're babysitting Fred, you could be working on 183.
Town of Brookhaven code enforcement doesn't go to the town board first
Yeah.
before they issue something. It should not be this way here either.
But in this particular case, there was something with the, if you have no CO or fire detectors for all these different places in the building that have been carved out, that to me would constitute an immediate.
Right, absolutely, absolutely, and notice should be.
Especially if you're living there, you want carbon dioxide poisoning?
So, I definitely recommend that we review that section under unsafe buildings and see if we can amend it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll concur on that, how we want to do
So moved, have a second?
that. Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. So, Chris, what'd you say, 16?
Resolution 07, 2017, 16. Resolution authorizing the use of a stenographer service to produce verbatim transcriptions of zoning board of appeals and planning board hearings, with the applicant being responsible for the cost of the stenography service, with the stenographer to be retained in accordance with the village procurement policy for a contract for 1 year to provide the stenography services on an as-needed basis. So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Is there a reason for it, like, it's not, but we don't know what the cost is, right, on that?
Well,
It's just we're just going through an
we're
idea.
just going by the ZBA, asked for it, and asked us to approve it.
If somebody challenges, I think it's the Article 78, there needs to be
With like-
exact records of.
But even the camera won't even provide that, that's what we have to this.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, we're not talking about our meetings, we're talking about the zoning board.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, all right,
Yeah.
go.
It's from the ZBA.
Gotcha, okay.
They don't realize,
Gotcha, okay.
we don't do verbatim.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
It's not cheap.
I'm just thinking the camera's there and
Mhm.
I wasn't even thinking about the zoning board, so I guess I'm still picking on stuff up.
Can we ask Joe whether cameras would suffice, or whichever would be cheaper, that is appropriate,
I mean, how
We should
does
at
the
least
zoning
look
board
into
do
it.
it?
Once a month.
but not necessarily.
And only if the person requires it, right? No,
Yeah.
there's no
On demand.
requested. Is there just a flat fee to have someone contract for a year?
Yeah, a lot of the villages use, they have a service, and then it's per page, and then, like Joe said, it's at night, it's a little more money.
You pay for that coming here in per page.
Mhm.
Print.
But you have to know how much per night and how much per page they can charge you, so you have to get various prices for various services. That's what we're looking
Mhm.
for. Yes, price.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know the one service, a lot of villages use it, so there might not be that many out there for us to choose from, but I'm sure we can find two or
We've
three, you know.
used a couple here.
We have, okay, good.
I have to think that they want a written thing because they're gonna take this to the court.
Oh, like right
So
now.
it's checking.
What else we need?
We got an article said-
How quick do they respond? Do they just, if someone says, does the person have to say, I want a stenographer here in advance, how far in advance does the person have to require?
Probably 24 hours, I would think.
Quick, so they can
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah,
It's a, yeah.
and then you
They have a
get
pool
it
of
like
people,
either
right.
that night or the next
Right.
morning, you know, so. All right, Joe, you wanna do the checks?
We don't have any checks.